Mark 1. Seen in the first Iron Man movie, the first armor is a life-or-death build in a cave. Tony and Ho Yinsen piece together a bulky frame from scrap instead of a missile. It carries flamethrowers, a shoulder rocket, and crude jet boots for one shaky jump. Heavy plates block bullets, but the joints and back stay open, so strong hits rip through. The armor runs hot, feels clumsy, and breaks fast. Still, it proves a tiny arc reactor can power a person-sized machine and keep its pilot alive under fire. That breakthrough sparks the Iron Man legacy. On raw performance, though, Mark 1 sits last. Slow, fragile, and limited compared to what came next. Mark 2. Seen in the first Iron Man movie, back home, Tony builds a clean prototype to test real flight. The Mark II adds a full HUD and Jarvis, so he can measure speed, altitude, and handling instead of guessing. It hovers well, flies fast, and shows that repulsors can double as basic weapons. But a big flaw appears at high altitude. The suit ices up, systems fail, and it stalls. It also needs a huge workshop gantry to put on, so field use is poor. Armor is fine, but the design clearly favors flight testing over combat. As a research platform, it's a win. As a battlesuit, it's unreliable. The data from Mark II leads directly to the fixes and upgrades in Mark III. Mark 5. Seen in Iron Man 2, the Suitcase suit trades strength for speed and convenience. Packed inside a briefcase, the Mark V snaps onto Tony in seconds during the Monaco attack, turning a surprise hit into a survivable fight. To stay portable, its plates are thin and the frame is light, so heavy blows bend panels and drain power quickly. Weapons are minimal, mostly repulsors for close defense and short hops. Endurance is short, heat builds fast, and there's no heavy missile or chest beam. It's perfect for emergencies and travel, not for long, hard battles. The big lesson is access. Fast suit-up can save a life. That goal eventually grows into much quicker, smarter deployment in later armors. Mark III. Seen in the first Iron Man movie, Mark III turns a prototype into the first true combat suit. Gold titanium alloy fixes icing, so high-altitude flight finally works. The armor absorbs heavy impacts, even rockets and tank fire. Weapons expand with mini-missiles, wrist rockets, stronger repulsors, and a chest unibeam for focused blasts. Targeting stays stable in city fights, while the red and gold design defines Iron Man's look. The key here is balance. Quick launch, strong firepower, and reliable defense in one package. Later models add smarter systems or special tools, but Mark III is the dependable baseline. It's the first armor that consistently lets Tony suit up, fight hard, and survive a mission from start to finish. Mark IV. Seen in Iron Man 2, Mark IV is a cleaner, more dependable version of Mark III rather than a radical redesign. Inside, parts are arranged for easier maintenance and steadier power delivery. Outside, the panels are smoother with a brighter red finish. Flight, weapons, and defense feel familiar, but reliability and turnaround improve, so the suit returns to action faster after damage. The helmet and torso open more cleanly for checks and medical needs, and small quality-of-life touches support longer wear. It's the everyday workhorse. Fewer surprises, fewer breakdowns, and easier service. Power is similar to Mark III, but uptime and comfort are better. For regular missions between big upgrades, Mark IV keeps Tony moving without drama. Mark VI. Seen in Iron Man 2 and the Avengers, Mark VI brings a clear jump in power thanks to Tony's new, cleaner reactor. With more output and no poisoning risk, the suit supports heavier weapons and longer bursts. Additions include a wrist grenade launcher, stronger shoulder missiles, and dual one-use cutting lasers that end fights fast. It's also tougher against shocks and surges, holding up to Whiplash's whips and even lightning-level hits during the Thor encounter. Structurally, it keeps Mark IV's dependable layout while pushing harder in real battles. The result is simple. The suit fights longer at higher intensity and has tools to finish an opening decisively. It's a practical upgrade that shows up on screen as stronger offense and better staying power. Mark VII. Seen in the Avengers, Mark VII is the peak of the purely mechanical era. Triggered by sensor bracelets, a pod rockets to Tony and assembles mid-fall so he can suit up anywhere. No gantry, no suitcase. Once formed, it carries a dense missile load, multi-shot wrist lasers, and tough armor proven in the Battle of New York. Targeting can handle multiple enemies at once, and thrust lets it intercept huge threats like a Leviathan. It basically merges the quick access idea of Mark V with the strength of the Mark III 6-line. In practice, it arrives fast, survives heavy fire, and delivers varied payloads in one mission. Before Nanotech, this is the most complete show-up-and-fight package. Mark 43. Seen in Avengers: Age of Ultron, Mark 43 focuses on smarter systems as threats grow global. Sentry mode lets it guard while Tony works elsewhere.
Sentry mode.
It also docks into the Hulkbuster frame, showing smooth modular design. Weapons and armor mirror Mark 7, but the control software is sharper, cleaner handoffs, steadier backup behavior, and stability under damage. Tony can even step out while the armor keeps defending. On its own, it's not the strongest, but flexibility is the win. It scales into bigger roles and adapts better than its predecessors, making it vital during citywide crises like Ultron's Sokovia Plan. Mark 47. Seen in Spider-Man: Homecoming, Mark 47 develops remote and pilot-optional control. It can perform detailed rescue work at a distance, stabilizing a splitting ferry and protecting people, then hand off smoothly when Tony arrives. The frame stays mostly mechanical, but sensors, link quality, and AI improve, so actions are precise in messy, real-world situations. When Tony's away, Friday handles things capably. The silver center section nods to Ultimate Comics, but the meaningful upgrade is reach and responsiveness, not raw firepower. It's an excellent first responder. It gets to the problem fast and starts useful work immediately, which reduces damage and buys time for heavier support. Think of it as a reliability and coverage boost for busy, modern cities. Mark 45. Seen in Avengers: Age of Ultron, Mark 45 starts the Friday era after Jarvis becomes Vision. The suit reads the battlefield faster, suggests cleaner options, and syncs with allies with fewer errors. Power management improves around the hex-styled reactor window, allowing longer beams and denser salvos before a cooldown. In Sokovia, it keeps firing while coordinating movement and targeting, which matters in a swarming robot fight where friendly fire is a risk. Externally, it looks familiar, but inside, it's a smarter brain and steadier energy use. Overall, Mark 45 is about clearer decisions and fewer mistakes. It bridges classic hardware into the more adaptive behavior that the next suits and Tony's team-based missions really need. Mark 46. Seen in Captain America: Civil War, Mark 46 begins the shift to hybrid nanotech while keeping a sturdy mechanical frame. Morphing pieces handle sealing and the retractable helmet, letting Tony suit up and adjust faster. A tighter link between suit and pilot shortens reaction time, and light self-repair fixes surface damage without leaving the field. It also adds smart, non-lethal tools like restraints for friendly fire situations. In the airport fight, it adapts quickly, seals damage, and uses targeted tools without risking teammates. Weapons stay familiar, but the big win is control and speed. Systems come online faster, and the suit stays stable under stress. 46 is the bridge that makes the fully nanotech jump of the next model feel natural. Mark 44. Seen in Avengers: Age of Ultron, Hulkbuster is a bolt-on exo-frame built to restrain a Hulk-level threat. Deployed from the Veronica satellite, modules wrap a base suit to create a walking battering ram with reinforced limbs and shock-damping joints. When parts fail, replacements drop from orbit and attach mid-fight, keeping it in action. Weapons focus on control over destruction, piston punches, clamps, and hard shoves that stop a rampage with less collateral damage.
Go to sleep, go to sleep.
It's slower and depends on that external resupply, but in its lane it works very well. Outside that role, the bulk is a drawback. The armor proves that smart specialization can handle problems that speed or lasers alone can't. Mark 48. Seen in Avengers: Infinity War, the second Hulkbuster keeps the power but fixes key limits. It no longer needs a base suit to run, so other pilots, like Bruce Banner in Wakanda, can use it. Actuation is quicker, the shape is cleaner, and ground movement is better, while raw strength stays high. In battle, it handles swarms and big enemies with faster stance changes and quicker recovery after falls. Less reliance on orbital resupply makes longer missions more practical. The mission is the same: control very strong targets, but uptime and handling improve. It keeps the value of a specialized tool while cutting the logistics that slowed the first version, turning Hulkbuster into a true standalone option. Mark 50. Seen in Avengers: Infinity War, Mark 50 switches from fixed plates to a user-controlled cloud of nanoparticles that form armor and tools on command. It seals around Tony almost instantly. Weapons become flexible. Blades, cannons, shields, wings, boosters, even restraints, generated as needed. It self-repairs until the nanite supply runs low. The suit can fly high, survive space for a time, and reshape itself during a fight. The limit is simple. There's a budget of particles, so long crushing battles can exhaust the supply and expose Tony. Even with that constraint, this is a major shift in what an Iron Man suit can do. It makes the armor feel like programmable matter guided by the pilot's intent. Honorable mention. Seen in Iron Man 3, the House Party Protocol is a remote-piloted fleet of specialty suits built after the New York attack. Each armor solves a narrow task: Sneaky for stealth, Heartbreaker for heavy chest blasts, Igor for lifting, Gemini for near space, Shotgun for top speed, and Bones for breaking apart into segments. As a system, it gives wide coverage and quick responses to unusual problems. On their own, most units are lighter and less durable than Tony's main numbered suits, and the Mark 42 shows that remote assembly can be fragile. The value here is variety and reach, not peak power. It's a strong concept library that supports crisis moments right before the full Nanotech era arrives. Mark 85. Seen in Avengers: Endgame, Mark 85 perfects nanotech with thicker plating, a stronger frame, and smarter energy flow. Offense improves with high-output back cannons and sharper beam control. Defense adds a blue energy shield and better impact spreading. The suit can absorb blasts and redirect them. Most impressively, it reshapes into a working infinity gauntlet and remains functional long enough to use it. In practice, it's adaptable, durable, and able to handle power few systems could survive. Why above Mark 50? It combines flexibility with maximum strength. This is Tony's ultimate armor, the final creation that ends his journey and saves the universe. Which one's your favorite? Drop a comment below and subscribe for more.